Hey there, beautiful souls. Don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and hit that subscribe button to stay wrapped in our latest stories. Now, settle in, because this one, it's going to pull at your heartstrings. It was just another night, or so I thought. The company's annual gala had wrapped up, city lights twinkling through the rooftop venue's wide glass windows. Laughter still lingered in my ears as I slipped outside, the cool night air kissing my skin, a welcome escape from the noise. My heels pinched, a quiet reminder of hours spent standing, smiling, playing the part, leaving already his voice, smooth as velvet, caught me off guard. I turned to see James Carter, my boss for 12 long years, silver at his temples, sharply dressed, carrying that unshakable confidence of a man who built an empire from nothing. At 61, he was all composure, all control. But tonight, something in his eyes felt different, softer, dangerous. Just getting some air, I said, offering a small smile. That was quite a party. He stepped closer, hands tucked into his pockets, the glow of streetlights softening the edges of his authority. It was, he admitted, but I'll be honest, these events aren't really my thing. I laughed, surprised. Funny? You host them every year? He tilted his head, a spark in his gaze. That's just business. You, on the other hand, seem to enjoy yourself. I shrugged, feeling the weight of his eyes. I've learned to play the part. His low laugh sent a shiver through me, and for a moment, we stood in silence, the city humming around us, just the two of us, away from the office's rigid lines. Then, his voice dropped, low and unexpected. I'm not ready to go home yet. Would you care to join me for a drink? My pulse quickened. This wasn't our usual late-night strategy calls. This was different. Something unspoken hung in his tone, pulling at me. Sure, I said, my voice betraying a tremble. Why not? We wandered from downtown's bright towers to a quieter street, where he led me to a small lounge, intimate, dimly lit. Soft jazz curled through the air, timeless, untouched by the world's rush. We settled into a corner booth, and James loosened his tie, a rare, unguarded move. His eyes met mine, really met mine, like he was seeing me for the first time. You've been with the company a long time, he said, swirling the amber liquid in his glass. 12 years. I nodded. Have you ever wondered what life might have been like if you'd chosen a different path? His question hit me like a whisper of silk against skin. Are you asking if I regret my choices? He shook his head, his gaze steady. Not regret, just curiosity. Do you ever wonder about the roads not taken? I exhaled, slow and deliberate. I think we all do. But I've always believed every decision, every turn, leads us exactly where we're meant to be. He smiled, a flicker of warmth. That's a wise way of looking at things. We really talked for the first time in years. Not about work, not about deadlines, but about life. His early struggles, the sacrifices of building the company, my dreams, the moments that shaped me. Time blurred. One drink became 2, then 3. The air between us shifted, heavy with something unspoken. His fingers grazed the back of my hand, hesitant, searching. I didn't pull away. A suspended breath. A moment where everything hung in the balance. Then, quietly, he spoke. I never told you this, but I've always admired you. Beyond your work, you have this presence, this way of making the world feel grounded, even when everything else is chaos. My heart raced. You've always been the one constant, he said, his voice softer now. And maybe it took me too long to realize just how much that means. I swallowed, unsure, my mind spinning. He wasn't just my boss anymore. He was James, a man whose opinion I'd valued, whose presence I'd respected. But now, in the warmth of that lounge, I saw him differently. I saw a man who saw me. I should probably head home, I said, my voice unsteady. He nodded, but his eyes held mine. Let me walk you. The streets were quieter now, the city's pulse slowing. At my building, we lingered. Thank you for tonight, he said, for listening. I smiled, my heart pounding. I could say the same to you. A pause, a hesitation. Then, before I could overthink it, I leaned in just enough. The world narrowed to us, the past and future fading. But before anything more could happen, I pulled back. Good night, James, I whispered, stepping inside, my breath unsteady, my heart a quiet storm. The next morning, I woke early, my mind tangled in him, his touch, his gaze, the unspoken words. For years, I'd seen him as my boss authority, respect, distance. But now I couldn't stop thinking of James, the man who let his guard down, who looked at me like I was more than an employee. At the office, the air felt charged. His eyes flicked to mine through his office window, a small smile only I would notice. It sent a shiver through me. By afternoon, I needed air on the office terrace. The city buzzed below, a symphony of life. I didn't hear him approach. You've been avoiding me? James said, his voice calm but edged. I turned, forcing a chuckle. Avoiding you. That's a bit dramatic. He stepped closer, hands in his pockets, his gaze unreadable. Is it? I sighed, rubbing my temples. James, last night was different. He finished for me. I know. I looked at him, the man I'd worked beside for years, now unfamiliar. We can't do this, I said, but the words felt hollow. He studied me, then exhaled. I know what you're thinking, that this is dangerous, that it changes things. It does change things, I said firmly. James, you're my boss. There are rules, expectations. I don't care about rules. He interrupted, his voice low, steady. My breath caught. You're overcomplicating this, he said, softer now. Last night, we weren't boss and employee. We were just two people. And I think we both felt something. I swallowed hard. He wasn't wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, he said, his voice a whisper, his fingertips brushing my wrist. Tell me, and I'll forget last night ever happened. I wanted to pull away, to pretend everything could go back. But I didn't, because I felt it too. His touch lingered, a quiet question. And for the first time in years, I didn't want to think. I didn't pull away. His fingertips skimmed my wrist, and I felt it everywhere, a shiver of warmth. For years, I'd lived inside boundaries, career, age, reason, but standing there, with James looking at me like I was something new, I felt those walls shift. He waited, watching for a sign I wanted this as much as he did. And I did. James, I said, my voice trembling. I don't know where this leads. He smiled, soft and sure. Neither do I, but that doesn't mean we have to run from it. A breeze rustled through the terrace. I shivered, and he noticed, slipping off his suit jacket, draping it over my shoulders. His scent, warm, faintly spiced, wrapped around me. "Come on," he said, nodding toward the office door. "Let's get out of here." I hesitated. "You mean now?" "Why not?" His voice was light, but there was determination beneath it. I glanced inside at the office, humming with routine. If I went back, I knew how the night would go home. Dinner, alone with my thoughts, pretending nothing had changed. But something had. "All right," I said, my voice steady. "Let's go." We ended up at a quiet restaurant, dimly lit, the kind where the music hums low and waiters speak in whispers. James ordered wine, and as the first sip warmed my throat, I relaxed. "So," I said, setting my glass down, "what exactly are we doing here?" He leaned back, his gaze unreadable yet warm. "Honestly, I just wanted to be somewhere with you where we didn't have to pretend." My heart skipped. Pretend he met my eyes. That last night didn't mean something. The words landed, heavy, unshakable. I exhaled. It did. A flicker of relief passed over his face. We talked for hours about us, not work. I shared things I hadn't said aloud in years, how I'd put my career first, convinced myself love was for others. James listened, really listened. His fingers brushed mine, deliberate, sending my breath catching. "You're not alone in that," he said, and I believed him. By the time we left, the city had quieted, streets glowing amber. We walked, neither ready to say goodbye. At a crosswalk, he stopped, turned to me. "I don't want to rush this," he said softly, "but I don't want to pretend it doesn't matter." My heart pounded. "James," I said, a breathy laugh escaping. That's an understatement. We stood, the city moving around us, yet it felt like just us. Then, without overthinking, I stepped closer. His breath hitched, his eyes searching mine. The kiss was slow, tentative, like the first notes of a song we didn't know yet. His hand cradled my face, careful, reverent. When we pulled away, his forehead rested against mine. "This changes everything, doesn't it?" I whispered. "It does," he murmured. "But maybe that's not such a bad thing." I closed my eyes, letting the warmth sink in. Maybe he was right. The next morning, excitement, nervousness, uncertainty swirled inside me. His touch lingered on my lips, in the way he'd looked at me like I was worth waiting for. But reality crept in. I was his employee. He was my boss. We'd crossed a line. My phone buzzed. "James Morning?" "No regrets, I hope." I smiled, typing back, "None. You." His reply was instant, not a single one. "Can I see you later?" I hesitated. Not because I didn't want to. I did, but because I wasn't sure what later meant. Could we exist outside the office's lines? Me, yes. But we need to talk first. That evening, in a quiet park. He was waiting, leaning against a bench, hands in his pockets. "Hey," he said. "Hey," I echoed, sitting beside him. The setting sun filtered through the trees, golden and warm. "James," I said, "where does this go from here?" He exhaled. "I don't have all the answers, but I know I don't want last night to be something we pretend never happened." I nodded. "Me neither." He turned to me. "Then let's not make this about rules or expectations. Let's make it about us, whatever that looks like." I swallowed. "And work." He chuckled softly. I won't let this affect your career. You've worked too hard. If we need boundaries at the office, we'll have them. But I don't want to lose this just because of logistics. His words settled something deep inside me. For so long, I'd let fear of the unknown hold me back. But here was James, willing to figure it out with me. I reached for his hand. Okay, I said. Steady. Let's see where this goes. His smile was relief itself, and as he pulled me into a slow, lingering kiss under the fading light, I realized something. This wasn't just a night that took an unforgettable turn. This was a new beginning.